starting streaming now. Hello world. I may be audible. I might actually check what I sound like in a moment once the stream has come back around and said hello to me in that window. Amusingly, how terrible is the sound? Hello. Yes, I am indeed playing complicated sub-game involving multiple monitors and making a mess of things. I don't seem to have any sound coming through. Oh, right, that's because that... Is that just because I'm far too quiet? Oh, right. Yeah, and there's an awful lot of weird buzzing from my microphone. Let's try turning that down and that up. Right. Ooh. That seems to be better. I now tweak that setting again. Right. Right, there we go. Oh, turn that down a fraction. Right. Okay, how about some actual CK2 now? Also, I'll unplug my headphones because otherwise this is going to get very confusing. So, what on earth was I doing in this game then? I can't remember. I had just taken over Yemen. I had just moved my capital to CK2. I should change this so that I can actually at least see IRC, even if... yes, we then have the second mini game of learn how... I probably can't scroll down. Oh, I can scroll down, excellent, as long as I'm careful. Right. So the second mini game of get the sound vaguely right, but I think I've actually got the sound vaguely right now. What on earth is going on? Well, I am the now fairly elderly, by 11th century standards, Mašanñal of Yemen. Yes, it is 1062. And I own and I control some of the Abyssinian highlands and the plains down to the Strait of Mandeb, and then some of the Yemeni mainland plus CK2. And CK2 is where I have my capital because that's a nice island place which makes it a bit of a pain for anyone else to move into. So my son, Count Mašanñal of Matama, is my heir. I assume he's my son, yes. He's not bad for martial, which is the critical thing. I mean, admittedly, I'm getting to the point where I want decent diplomacy as well. My laws are elective. I think I must just have gained the kingdom when the right, the message log doesn't get saved. Must just have gained the kingdom when I thing. So I usurped it in February. Yes, I usurped the kingdom 3 days ago, snatching it from the previous holder, who was a Muslim, part of the Hashemid Sultanate. The Hashemid Sultanate is, of course, moderately scary, having as it does. Oh, okay, only 2.8 thousand men. Well, that wasn't what I meant to do. Come back. Probably people on the stream can still see it because I think the window still exists. It's just that, yes. Anyway, Hashemid Sultanate has... I've only got 878 troops.
That reminds me of
I've got a
thing that happened early in Putty's lifetime when there was that window resizing bug that caused it to roll itself up into a small ball and corner and sock.
yes. I am way over my domain limit, I observe.
Yeah, you should probably fix that, otherwise you're going to have some very pissed off battles. Possibly also what's depressing your troop numbers,
Yeah.
because they do get quite irked about that.
I think, yes, because what I just did was I had a holy war against the Hashemid Sultanate and took all of this area, which is now all in my domain.
By breaking up your top level domain into subdomains.
Broadly speaking, yes. By carving off some of them into with their own counts. So I basically put the zone cut in the right place. This is a DNS joke, yes. Because actually the things map onto it reasonably well. So yes, your domain is those leaf names that are still part of the parent zone rather than having been delegated into subzones. Pretty accurately. But you have a limit on how large your zone file can be. Well, actually you have two limits. You have a limit on the number of targets of NS records, and you have a limit on the number of top level A records you can have as well. So in particular you can only delegate to a certain number of vassals, though in my case the number is 36, which is far more than I can plausibly actually delegate anything to.
Me, who spent most of the last game going
Of my vassal limits.
Of about 40-something, 48, 49, and I have 60 vassals.
Because controlling the entirety of the known world.
And it comes with these problems,
Yes.
especially
Because there's quite a lot of known world.
realising in time.
Oh yeah, sometimes in this game bits of the map are different colours from each other. I remember now.
Yes.
It's a theory. I mean, I understand the theory.
Excuse me, vanished everything again.
I'm now playing as a small count in
Yes.
Byzantine Empire and trying to work out desperately how to...
Verity's world is somewhere over here. But my world... Yeah, there it goes again. Oh, that's how you get it back. Excellent. I might have to switch back to mirroring so that I don't have my window keep disappearing. So, like, the Kingdom of Yemen is a pretty decent size now. If I can organise my vassals a bit, then that will...
It's got a sort of clearing problem in the middle where there's a body of water between two of the letters.
Well, yes. It is slightly weird that my kingdom stretches across the straits there, but, you know, I feel that at least even though it's not going to be adequately well simulated, having both sides of that strait should be very helpful from an extorting tribute from passing ships point of view. Sorry, lighthouse dues from passing ships. So yes, I want thus to decide what I'm going to give away and to whom. For instance, I probably now have a bunch of de jure vassal duchies, don't I? So, in particular, I can create a bunch of duchies. So yes, I'm currently Duke of Socotra, and that's obviously sensible. But so I think I can't usurp the emirate of Hadwaramat because that doesn't actually overlap Yemen, and also for other reasons. Sana'a doesn't currently exist, but I just holy board for the whole thing, so it's probably sensible to create that. I currently do hold two duchies because I also hold Godjam. Actually, I'm thus slightly tempted to hand Godjam over to my heir because he's currently based in Matama. He's my heir, so he's probably, unless of course I want to elect someone else, I suppose. So yeah, let's consider Godjam to be the thing I will give to my heir. And
This is sort of Prince of Wales.
yeah, because like it helps them if they have a bit of prestige when they come to the throne.
Also get them to practice at ruling something.
Yes, and is quite good for getting them, making them more electable.
It is also giving the possibility of pissing people off if they're,
Particularly terrible.
in that way.
Yes, so let's see who we actually have. Emmanuel looks like a better ruler, though content is not the best trait for someone in that position to have. Yes. Sorry, trusting. Right, yes. That's actually probably better than content, sorry. I was confused. Yeah, maybe Emmanuel is a better target. My sister Dorico, she is 70 years old. Yeah, probably not going to be her. Or my grandson Dioscoros. He has some quite nice traits. Craven, which is a pity. The Holy Warrior. Ooh, I quite like the idea of seeing if we can get Dioscoros in as thing. Plus he's only 18. So, well, obviously for now he's my heir. But unlike before, when I was just Duke of Socotra, the electors were the de jure vassals of Socotra, which is the Count of Socotra, which was me as well. So, like, there was only one elector, and it was me. Here, I think we actually have other electors. Okay, that suggests there may only be me. Well, let's unpause briefly and see if anyone else votes. See if there are any other electors. So there's the Duchy of Sannar, which is not yet extant, and the Duchy of Socotra, and the Duchy of Thais, which I don't control enough of to create yet. Right. So we've had some time pass. No one else seems to have voted, so I think currently I am actually the only elector. And hence, at least for now, until of course I give Dioscoros a... Oh no, but that's not a de jure... Yes, I think the point is, I've just taken over a kingdom with whose de jure vassals are the Duchy of Socotra, the Duke of Socotra, me, a Duke of the wrong religion in the Hashemid Sultanate, who won't get a vote, and a bunch of duchies that don't exist yet. So yes, at the moment... are there any counties over there that I currently control? I can pass to him. The county of Godjam is also mine. So what I think I shall do is I shall make him Count of Godjam and Duke of Godjam. Shouldn't be any lower titles anyway.
Maybe that shows down at the bottom.
And the Duke of Godjam, rather curiously, doesn't include Damot. Obviously, ought to be part of the Duchy of Godjam, because, like, then, yeah. Let's hand him over. Let's give him the Count of Damot as well, merely as a. Obviously, that should be part of the Duchy, even though it isn't, because that'll make his life easier. Right. So now we have Duke Dioscoros of Godjam, who runs that little detached part of my kingdom there. That has not helped my domain limit, so I probably want to create the Duchy of Sannar and give it to someone. Should probably give it to a relative. I'm kind of tempted. Sannar, of course, will actually be a voter. Will actually be an elector. So maybe I don't create that as a duchy. Maybe I just put some people into the counties there. So, like, if we just give my various surviving offspring. So like Hayran could have county of Sanar. And let him sort out the bits underneath it. Can I grant her anything? No. Gabriel Offeru can have Najran. And all of my other children are daughters. Did I do something stupid there? Am I still holding? Yes. He should also get transferred to him. Sardar, which means grant land title, doesn't it? City of Sardar. Right. So that's got me down under the vassal limit, under the domain limit, by handing over 2 things to some of my sons. Right. What else is going on then? So, current diplomatic situation is that the we have alliances with a bunch of smallish sheikdoms up here, though apparently no longer with Kingdom of Egypt. What's happened to Egypt then? It's hard to tell with that helmet on. Sultan Theodorich the Pilgrim, who wears his crown over his helmet.
Wearing a crown under your helmet would surely be even more inconvenient.
Yes, it's true.
But also, it's still a set.
So
I just looked up Godjam on Wikipedia. Wikipedia gives history of Godjam starting from the 14th century, so I think you get to make everything up.
So there is a Christian defensive pact against the Arabian Empire. Right, can I join that? Can I join that? Because I think I might want to do that. Is that the Arabian Empire? I don't think it is. But I think, I mean, admittedly, I'd like to join a defensive pact against the Hashemid Sultanate, but that I think must be the Arabian Empire, yes. Join existing defensive pact. Right. I have joined a defensive pact, yes. We're, in Verity's games, we're much more used to being the target of a defensive pact.
Against us and us not being able to join defensive pacts because we're too big and scary.
But, like, yeah, the Abbasids are quite...
I think I wanted to join the defensive pact, but I couldn't because I was more than 60% its size or something.
Yeah.
Which was a bit of a problem.
So...
I haven't realised when you zoom in close enough it starts to go 3D.
I think it's nominally 3D all the time, except as far as I can tell. Yeah, but yes, hang on. If you like, you can actually see the cities and the piers in the ports and so forth.
Oh, it is quite good. I just find it quite seasick.
And the troops wandering around, and the mountains of
humans, the bestriding world like Colossus.
Yes, and the mountains of Abyssinia, which make it quite hard to read the place names. But the curious thing is that I don't think it's actually 3D in that it's not a globe. It's still a flat map with mountains on it.
Yes, I do always think it would be nice to see a few more games in which the playing surface was not a Euclidean claim. I mean, there are a few.
I mean, here it actually matters. Like, I think the distances are all wrong up north as a result.
Ratchet and Clank games, there are little tiny
Yes.
of the world that you can land on. But they're so tiny that the territory really becomes obvious. But it's not quite the same as this.
So we have an alliance with her. We don't yet have an alliance with him. He will not currently make an alliance because of political concerns. And we do have an alliance with him. So what's going on with Egypt then? Why don't I have an alliance with the King of Egypt? Probably because I haven't managed to marry anyone to it. Oh, I do have an alliance with the King of Egypt. Excellent. Oh, it's just that I don't. It shows us I'm allied with his county, even though actually I'm allied with Egypt. So if I need his help in a war, I can probably get it. But the problem is the main people I would be going up against are the Hashemid Sultanate, and while I have plenty of casus belli against them, I also have a truce with them until for the next 10 years, because yes, I just won a war against them. The Abbasids are of course the Arabian Empire, who are really scary. So I could declare a holy war against the Abbasids. That would not bring the King of Egypt into the war, because he is already defending against them. So I can't offer it to join his war. Right. Meanwhile, over there we have the rather large kingdom of Kanem, which is actually Muslim. Oh dear. That's not nice. I was hoping they'd still be pagan. Though, to be honest, they're a fairly distant problem. And we have Abyssinia, with whom we, I think, currently have a religious disagreement.
You're the wrong flavours of Christianity.
Yes, now with the wrong flavours of some particular something of Christianity, but I have a truce with them for about 3 months. Okay. Right. Well, maybe the King of Abyssinia, King Oromo II, should start being worried, and I might try to join the two halves of my empire. But, what casus belli do we have for him? A bunch of claim wars, a bunch of holy wars for a holy war for all that bit of Abyssinia, which would be great fun. Still no sign. So. Why would Egypt not join on my side, I wonder? And who is that? Who is that odd thing that I have an alliance with? I have an alliance with the Sheikh of Suakin, who is Muslim, but would apparently come and help me in a holy war against the wrong flavour of Christianity. I presume, how am I off for unmarried? Oh, of course, giving things to my children giving land to my children is slightly awkward, because it means I don't get to marry off their children in ways that get me alliances, because they're no longer members of my court. Oh well, let's let time run at least until we have. Okay, the text over there is slightly too small for me to read. Maybe I should just swap IRC and thing around. Yes, lots of people leaving my court. Mucky around at the bishop level, which I can never. Oh, that's slightly interesting. So, how did that happen then? Verity just gets these things happening and doesn't ask why. That looks like a fixing up of the religions situation. The old Prince Bishop is still alive, indeed is still a bishop, but the new one actually has the correct has the administrator trait, which I don't think I've ever seen before, but the new one has the correct religion, which probably helps, or at least has my religion. And he similarly has usurped something from someone of the wrong religion. And he has usurped something from someone of the wrong religion. So that's good.
Why do multiple religions fighting over a bishopric? Seems incongruous to me. I thought bishoprics of different denominations just sort of existed in superposition.
Well, I think in this period, there's like actually trying to control enough of the populace and possibly the churches. Like, a church is a pretty serious building. But yes, here in this world they oh well, the good job I didn't manage to give anything to my sister. She's dead. She has a son who is my nephew, who is unmarried, and my courtier at court in CK2. Well, I mean, that's obviously unfortunate. If we can find someone for him to marry, preferably someone nearby, that would be great. Try a princess of the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine Empire is a bit of a way off. And a bunch of courtiers. Betrothing him to Nicoletta of the Byzantine Empire. Turn on that and it helps not at all. Be quite helpful. So what's her relationship to the Basileus? She is daughter of the Basileus. Theophania, isn't she? Oh, Theophano, sorry. She's 7. Nicoletta's 11. Let's go for the eldest one. Let's see if we can get an alliance with the Byzantine Empire like this. He's the wrong religion, but he likes me quite a lot. Maybe just on principles of getting people to have the right religion. Let's see if he will convert first, and then let's marry him off to Nicoletta, because I think that's wise. Oh, Abyssinia's going off and fighting someone else. Excellent. Nicoletta's still available. Yes, good. Maybe I'll find out. I'll have a look at what war it is. There aren't many cases where you can explicitly join someone's war, and I'm not tribal anymore, which means I can't go on raiding expeditions. Also, it looks like a holy war, given we've got mobilisation of the Hashemid troops over on the east.
I was thinking more in terms of like not overtly being involved in the war with like your own troops in there swinging weapons, but
yes,
secretly funding it round the back, shipments of minerals and Vespine gas or something.
Yeah, you can certainly do that, albeit slightly. Well, you have mechanisms in particular for giving money to other rulers, and the major purpose of that is to make them like you more. But it does also mean they have more money, so you can use this as a rather odd way of funding other people's wars so that they can pay for mercenaries. Right, so that seems like a generally good plan. And like I am a king now, maybe the Basileus will be a very minor king. So yes, how are my troop numbers doing now? Oh, that's less terrible. So yes, I am depressed at the moment. That's unfortunate.
That's depressing.
Yes. I have declined to accept your suggestion of a betrothal between Panagiros and Princess Nicoletta. Humph! Humph, I say. Also, there appears to be some confusion because he thinks he's betrothed to her. Oh, did I ask him for it twice by stoting? I think we've managed to see that happen before, when you, for instance, offer the same person in marriage to two people or what have you. Possibly you can actually offer him to the same person because he is currently betrothed. So is that another fixing the religion? Yes. Okay, so now if I hunt for the Byzantine Emperor...
That's me in the spotlight, fixing my religion.
Yes. What's the thing? Top liege province owner, Byzantine Emperor. Yes, an alliance with the Byzantine Empire. That will certainly help. I mean, I feel that getting alliances is sometimes a bit too easy.
How vigorously will they come to your aid if you're invaded by your neighbour?
That's a good question. They're a long way away. They will probably not be very helpful, actually. Egypt were just about close enough to be useful. Oh, the Hashemid Sultanate has joined the defensive pact, or has joined, presumably not our defensive pact, presumably he's a member of the... Yes, he's a member of the Muslim defensive pact against the Abbasids. So the Abbasids now have a Christian defensive pact, including me, a Muslim defensive pact, and a pagan defensive pact. Presumably these lot are considered not scary enough yet. I think I checked this earlier, didn't I? Yes, he is. Has very little threat because well, someone just took away a bunch of his holdings in Yemen. Right. So how scary are the Umayyads? Because they're quite nearby. Okay, they're an empire. Yeah, okay, they're quite scary too. But too far away from them to worry
People
about.
in a defensive pact against some particular nation have no reason not to get involved with each other.
Indeed.
In ways that have nothing to do with the thing they're defending against.
Yes. The defensive pacts are kind of special purpose things, unlike alliances. So Karnem's actually looking very soft. 622 troops. They are tribal, so they can get a bit more. Okay, they can get a lot more. 622 troops plus 6,300 from vassal allies.
Maybe not.
On a good day. Right. Okay.
Don't go up against Canaan then. That looks like a disaster.
Well, I've got an alliance with the Byzantine Empire now.
Yes, but you need to check first on how many wars the Byzantine Empire is in already.
Dorothy, I think what you meant to say there was Calais cannon.
Thank you,
Ah,
Simon.
I kind of because of course
They're only defending against
themselves.
and one fairly unexciting high chief, but they have only got 12,000 troops, so they're still not particularly serious. But mostly, I think my next target, if I'm going to attack anyone, and my truce has now expired, is King Oromo II of Abyssinia. Goodness, he's got claims on a lot of things. Yes, most of which were taken by the Hashemids, of course. That means I really want him in my court, but well, as my
Piss
vassal.
him out.
Yeah, well, I suppose if I could get him... I know, I think I need to get him down to being a count before he'd take diplomatic vassalisation, and even then he probably wouldn't, because I wouldn't be king of Abyssinia, unless I can actually take the kingdom off him, but I don't think I have a claim on the kingdom. No. Though... what time's it? Oh, go on then. Yes, please.
Yes, but can you top up with like an inch and a half of cold water?
So the problem with the Holy War is that I don't, for some reason, get Egypt involved. But he is already. Presumably that means do I get some penalty for going to war with a co-religionist? Not really, and there aren't that many monophysite rulers around. Like, the situation is fairly much, well, actually we mostly have an Islam problem. Actually, yeah, there is the slight problem that a lot of my vassals are still monophysite. I should actually, yes, I should do some vassal fettling in that regard, shouldn't I, first? Let's
Certainly get your
since some of my vassals...
yes, remember not to start one for the converted, what do you call them? At state.
I'm fairly sure I've asked him to convert once before, and indeed he did. That's kind of annoying. Lord Mayor of Aden is the correct religion, though. Count of Sanar will probably convert. Count of Ankoba will not, because he does not like me. And that would be folly. Increase his opinion by 32, which would not be enough. Do I have any spare honorary titles? I've got lots of honorary titles. I can make him seneschal and send him a gift. How am I off for money? Yeah, I can afford this. And then he probably will be willing to convert. No. Stoats! You should actually check the True Believer flag, you stoat. Oh well, he likes me now. Prince Bishop of Assab, I already know is the correct religion. Count of Asaita will probably convert. Count of Najram presumably is the correct religion already, yes. Countess of Tajura will not convert, but only because she dislikes me. 38 will take her up to not quite enough. But if we can give her the title of Keeper of the Swans, -2 plus 38. I think plus 36. Is it plus 37 you need? Or is it plus 36?
I think it's plus 36.
Okay. It is. Bishops are, of course, of the correct religion, and so is that baron. Let's just go through my court as well. Probably not worth actually paying people in my court to convert, unless they're doing something interesting. Chancellor is apparently the wrong religion, which is a pity. And she's a true believer and won't convert. Commanders aren't a serious problem.
They're still by the part where apparently started eating themselves to death, isn't it?
They can.
No,
Who
not.
cares about surfboards? It's an altar.
Well, surfboard might not be good for altars.
Well, I kind of care in that level, but you know, it's a grown-up altar. It's its responsibility to work out what should be in its diet.
So a bunch of my courtiers are kind of grumpy about me. Mostly because they dislike the fact that I've got a woman as a chancellor. She's also the wrong religion. I think essentially anyone who likes me, it's because they don't think I'm a heretic, or they're not heretics strictly.
You are each not heretics from the other's frame of reference. Each not
Hang on,
heretic.
my court chaplain is the wrong religion.
Am I every time? I think there's equal opportunities quite.
Well, let's allow those two, the ones who were willing to convert, to come round. So I'm now at 1,500 troops. King of Abyssinia does now have 2,500 troops. So I think I am.
What's it going to be a week on Friday? Or are we just going to Friday? I expect to stay open for Friday and Sunday next week.
So the question is, what can I hope for from these guys? The answer is 1,500 and 1,500. So kind of between the three of us, we should be able to take Abyssinia, but it would be a bit iffy, I feel. And my domain numbers are still a bit feeble. So I'm fairly well off for cash at the moment. So not maybe well enough off that I could actually hire mercenaries to help me. Or I could try investing in my domain a little.
Of course, with the main troops cost money to run, which is always a little bit of a
Yes. So let's improve stables in Zabid.
Stuff. This is continuing to faff. See you in a future weekend. Yes. Good luck.
Let's have a castle town there. And there's a third. Oh, a cuff. Also mine. And I've only just taken it over. Oh, and I own the city there, which I should get rid of. Let's get ourselves a level 2 keep there. And Dofar is weirdly independent. No, it's not. It's part of the everything. And is that yet another? Yes, that's the Umayyad Empire. There isn't much I can usefully find which I can get a claim on anyway, so let us just create a new vassal to run. That appears to be lacking a spy master. Well, he's not very good. Maybe better than 13. Only by stealing somebody else's spy master. And you only get up to 15. Sorry, he's still worth having, and I can fix most of the reasons he doesn't like me. Partly by appointing him as spy master. At least, assuming that he can be persuaded to convert. We'll check that when he arrives.
Probably should have checked that he wasn't super finance.
Well, it hardly matters. I can dismiss him from my court again. Currently his opinion of me is an even more terrible. Again, he's now minus 55 because he's come to my court. Maybe he's actually going to be rather too difficult to fix. So technically he could be converted, but I do need to increase his opinion of me by 70 odd. Oh, giving him 15 gold would get me 60 points though. Well, I mean, at that point it feels like it's worth a try. Actually, can I just send him another 60 gold? No, this will not improve his opinion of me further. No. So I need to get another 21 points. So appointing someone. Oh, if I can find him a wife, that'll probably cheer him up, won't it? Oh, I just appointed him. That was Stoke shaped. Oh well, better make sure I fix this then. Well. Marry a ruler. He's not a ruler, so let's just get someone who wants to marry at least. I do have a convenient spare princess, but I'm sure I have a better use for her. Of course, then I have to convert her as well, but still. Oh. Alright, 25 now, because he's married. So I just need to make him very slightly more favourable towards me, which I can do by making him the master of the horse. But let's just check if he would make a good commander. How are we doing for commanders at the moment? No, he's not quite up to the level of being one of my commanders. So let's point him as master of the horse. And then he will probably be willing to convert. But meanwhile, his wife still dislikes me, even though I fulfilled her marriage wish, because I'm possessed and a foreigner as far as she's concerned. So she is going to remain persistently the wrong religion, but that's not nearly as important as making sure that my spy master is of the correct religion. Queen Aegidia approaches me with an armful of scrolls. Would you do me the honour of bestowing a nickname upon me, my lord?
No, it's this one. This is our favourite.
So,
Do you give them an actual big nickname, which costs you prestige, or do you give them the only nickname that doesn't piss them off?
so Queen Aegidia, who has the wrong religion, and is a true believer. And is nonetheless reasonably well disposed towards me, because I sent her a gift. 50 prestige, handsome, the pest, or I have more important things to do. Oh, let's be generous. The fairest of CK2. Right, he has now converted to my Physite faith, and therefore he's actually willing to tolerate me. So let us give him a job. His job will be, as is traditional. Oh, I should deal with that. I think you should build your spy network in Abyssinia. My beloved nephew Hiran is concerned that he is still not married. Yes, that is slightly unfortunate. How did you end up there? Why are you not of the correct religion? Because you are unwilling to be converted. Well, I should probably thus try to get you a matrilineal marriage that gets you the hell out of my kingdom. I can either promise to find him someone nice or cause him to storm out of the room. Oh, let's find him someone nice. He now has a slightly higher opinion of me because I promised to get him married. Right. So I can get you matrilineally married to a princess of the Byzantine Empire. How do you feel about that? I don't know why there are so many princesses of the Byzantine Empire available, but like, I mean, I presume that a betrothal will be good enough for him. Does he actually need marriage? Because, like, you can't have a princess of the Byzantine Empire if you want someone who's actually grown up already. I'm not getting one of my daughters. One thing, she's only 1 year old. I mean, how about we just dispatch you all the way up to the Byzantine Empire? Yeah. Let me get you out of my hair.
History.
That's got him out of my hair. He now has no opinion of me. Oh, actually, because and his wife quite likes me for no very good reason. Right, okay, back to me. So I still only have 1.65 thousand troops. Mostly this is that my domain levies are tiny. So what's going on? So those are fairly feeble, mostly because people don't like me. So I need to rearrange myself a little. My legs are starting to get sore. Right. And because my laws don't get me much from vassals, maybe I should take advantage of the fact that I have almost no de jure vassals, and so that will annoy my vassals quite a bit, but will that should have them knocked down by 20%. I'm trying to work out what the numbers are doing here. So that one, say, who utterly loves me, yes, he's providing 80%, right. So yes, probably that's a city, and hence its numbers are lower. That's a county, and part of the issue there is that she doesn't like me, and part of the issue is that she has bugger all troops. Similarly there, Manuel does not much like me. This is kind of tricky to fix because he's the wrong religion anyway. And he's a true believer, so isn't going to change his religion. So I don't think I can fix that very much. He still has slightly more troops than I'm comfortable with. Let's allow a little more time to pass. Let's see if anything interesting happens. That's a couple of my vassals forming internal alliances. So yeah, I think mostly I want to wait for my own domain levies to recover a bit. I do have more titles I can create, Sanar and Afar. and Damot. Damot could be created by someone else, of course. So what are the laws? Other things somewhere to tell you the laws of.
Let's try taking some pills. And just also, I'm being looked at by an upside down behind Martin. Wow, it's true. She is very good at looking.
So I could create one of those duchies and immediately hand it over. If I created the duchy of Damot, then that could be handed. What's going on with us up there? So yes, it's a theocracy, isn't it? That could then immediately be handed over to the Duke of Godjam. But he currently loves me anyway, so I don't think we should bother doing that just yet. Create Sanar, but if I did that I'd want to keep it for myself. I do currently only control one duchy, but so the current situation is the duchy devolves to my grandson Dioscoros, who is also heir to the kingdom. If I created the Duchy of Sanar and just kept it for myself, I can't create it because I don't control it. What? 3 titles to be created, including Duchy of Sanar.
You can't afford
I can't afford the gold. Okay. Oh yes, I spent a bunch of gold on building things, didn't I?
Yes.
And kind of wasn't paying attention to the fact that this cost me gold. Oh well,
Still,
that's fine.
I mean, you're dimming the next sort of life already.
I mean, it might be worth increasing the tax rates a bit. Could do with finding a new designated regent, probably because someone's died. Okay, I can't increase city taxation. I could bump up church taxation. How are my churchy vassals feeling at the moment? Also, who's my scandalous counsellor and are they worth the effort?
Yeah, corresponded to Mars in Rainbow.
Well, those correspondences.
Generally Rainbow society, yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, the reason I thought, was because Tuesday and Monday. I didn't know that
Yes.
was actually...
I noticed this recently as a result of Weekly, who, if you would watch the link I posted, when someone said Zoa,
Oh, you mentioned that.
yes, there was a link in there. There was They did a series of seven little videos promoting their new EP, and each one of them mentioned one of the members, and they were like, and each one was labelled with the relevant celestial body. So it had like Sol, Luna, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn. And I think it was only when Saturn came out that I worked out what they were playing at. So yes, it is Queen Egidia, who does have spectacular diplomacy. And is currently improving diplomatic relations in Damot. Is that actually still something I care about? I don't think I care about the opinion of the Count of Damot anymore, because I've stuffed him under Godjam. So I should probably stop her doing that. She's improving diplomatic relations somewhere that isn't my direct vassal. I think probably I would do well to send her to Ankoba. Probably, though I should look at the military situation. I mean, Asaita already loves me. If we improve the opinion of Tajura, that would make things better. So I think we should send her to Tajura instead. Right. That's better. Why is he researching economy tech in Zabid? That is no longer my capital. You're going to research economy tech anywhere. Research it in Socotra. You're proselytising in Godjam. Well, I think you should probably be proselytising in my domain, and indeed in my capital, because Socotra is currently Massalian. Maybe I should actually have sent him to somewhere Muslim, I'm not sure. Right, well, my troop numbers are recovering nicely.
I mean, the thing is, if you convert one of your Muslim sort of sub-things, then of course,
yes, of course. The two of the Muslim counties that I just took over are actually already have counts of their own, who are presumably working on things. Right. The Bishop of Sanar is also the court chaplain, and is currently in Sanar proselytising. Not sure there is surely you must have a court chaplain, but it doesn't appear under the list of courtiers or vassals. Oh well. I can't see other people's councils. And interestingly, Thais is still Massalian. I feel that should be cause for a holy war, but there are major reasons why I don't want to go for another holy war against them right now. So yeah, troop numbers now looking quite solid. Troop numbers for them looking similarly solid. So they have fewer alliances. But we can still recover quite a lot more. So we have a new Lord Mayor of Aden, who is of the correct religion. He's, like everyone, a bit grumpy that I appointed my wife as Chancellor.
I assume you appointed your wife as Chancellor because she's the best person for the job.
Yes. I mean, she does have diplomacy of 20, which is pretty good at this level.
Oh yeah. Obviously your wife is the best person in the job. I mean, obviously they're all busy doing sexy shits and not to realise.
There is actually someone else in my realm. Oh no, the Marshal of Suakin, who also has diplomacy of 20, who would join my court if asked. And that would improve matters in other respects, yeah. Let us invite Christophoros, Marshal of Suakin. Why he's a marshal, I don't know. Anyway, yes, so we've got a new Grand Mayor of Aden. Yes, Dioscoros inherited Matama. Because Mašanñal died after a period of illness, survived by his wife, Ananthea Diogenes. Defensive pact, left defensive pact, left defensive pact, joint defensive pact. We are generally faffing around with the Abbasid defensive pact. And there's a bunch of particularly boring things here. Mostly are people moving around. Right, so I'm waiting for my potential new Chancellor to arrive, because that way I can stop my vassals having a -20 opinion penalty for the fact that my wife is Chancellor. I mean, admittedly, he is ill. But he might survive. See if we can find him a good wife. Probably shouldn't actually marry him to one of my daughters, or indeed daughters, because we have better uses for them. But the recently widowed Ananthea Diogenes would clearly be a good candidate. Maybe she hates me. Why does she hate me so much? She's outraged by the succession law change. Mostly. Oh, sorry, let's bring her in. Let's get her to be... maybe we should appoint him as thing first and then get him married. Oh right, yes, of course we don't want to give him matrilineal marriage because that would be unfortunate. But Theosia looks like she wants someone to marry, and he wants someone to marry. Let's make them happy. We have a new Miaphysite Pope. That's the old Miaphysite Pope. Here's the new Miaphysite Pope. He has a very stupid moustache and is generally in favour of me, which is nice, but not particularly useful. Troop numbers are still relatively depressed. But at least my new Chancellor is now generally in favour of things because I managed to get him a wife and a job. The oddly named Princess Ekir of Yemen is of legal age. He's currently betrothed to some guy in Egypt. Indeed, she is presumably the reason why I have an alliance with Egypt, so let's get her married up there. Right, so now she has cleared off to Egypt. Prince Giselbert, heir to the Sultanate, is, has German culture, unlike his father, who has Egyptian culture. Is heir to the kingdom. Right. On pause, that can't pass a bit more. While I still wait for my rather depleted my Hawk's chaplain's dropped dead. At the age of 47, that's slightly unfortunate. Oh, we better find a new one then. 14. Surely we can do better than 14. Right, okay. Wrong gender. Court chaplain of Asaita has 19. So let's bring him in. What plot is she a leader of? Count Maveri Widam of Asaita, who is my marshal, she is plotting to kill. Is he a decent marshal? Yes. Oh, I think I don't want her to kill her husband, my marshal, because he's a good marshal. Admittedly, I don't quite know why I was sending someone to cheer him up, because he is comprehensively in love with me anyway. But yes, I'm afraid, Countess, you are coming and sitting in my dungeons for a bit. Largely so that you don't go and kill my marshal. Also someone trying to kill some random courtier in Damot, but I think I don't care about that at all. Right, still waiting for my new court chaplain to arrive. Hello. There we go. And you are apparently desirous of getting married. And that will get you some piety, which is good. You only appear to have one person whom anyone is willing to allow to be married to you. They're of the wrong religion, but I'm sure you'll sort that out. You are, after all, the court chaplain. So, let us get her here and married to you, and then we'll send you out to start. Metropolitan of Mosul. Yes, anyway. Oh, right. The guy I've appointed as court chaplain is thus... Oh, right. Is my court chaplain naturally my patriarch as well? Possibly, yes. Anyway, you should probably be proselytising somewhere, and I think while we have... no, let's send you to deal with one of my Muslim bits first. Bits of my domain. So, how are we off? Troops still way below where we could be. And like, we're now substantially more than Abyssinia has. Gradually regaining money. To the point where I could create the Duchy of Sanar at the expense of burning all of my remaining money. Almost all of it, anyway. So, yes. Someone I appointed recently was ill. Are they still ill? My new Chancellor. Oh, good, he got better. Oh, I decided... Oh, did I have an ambition to improve my martial skill by any chance? Yes. Decided to join your personal guard in their daily training regimen at dawn. You get a much more exciting picture for this if you're African. Things were a bit stiff at first, but when they realised you wouldn't have them beheaded for scoring hits on you with their wooden practice swords, they taught you many valuable lessons. Your martial skill has improved. Gain one martial. Mašanñal the Bewitched has fulfilled the ambition to improve martial ability. Right, well, probably can't sensibly get that much piety. Should probably get that one extra point of intrigue. That, of course, will also have improved my... There's a bit. Countess of Tajura is complaining about her dark cell in the dungeon. I mean, she's probably safe to let her out. She'll probably won't immediately start plotting against her husband again, surely. She still objects to my scandalous counsellor, even though I haven't got a scandalous counsellor anymore. But he's not scandalous. He's perfectly ordinary. If I banish her, what happens? Will be seen as tyrannical. Executing her will obviously be seen as tyrannical. Ransom heard herself for 70 gold, so... Yeah, I think essentially I fined her 70 gold for plotting against her husband. Plus I could do with the money. More defensive pact. Faff has been released. My troop numbers are actually looking quite decent, even though I'm still 1,000 below where I could be. Asaito is also very flattened, isn't it? Okay, no, he's not. No, he does actually have quite a few. Maybe it's time to take on Abyssinia. King Oromo II is still engaged in a holy war for Shiwa, which he is losing, and a holy war for Itil, which he is losing. Oh no, which he is winning. Well, which I'm not sure why he's involved in that one. There are like 1,400 Abyssinian troops right there, which is like where I want to be. On the other hand, they are about to get flattened by yet another thing. Yet another incoming army. How's my construction going? Well, we should wait for those to finish, because that will increase my levies a bit. And then oh dear. While searching for a lost chalice, I came upon a band of rogues who robbed me. Lose 10 gold. Probably afford to create the Duchy of Sanar now. Not really makes much difference to anything. Afar would give me a de jure claim on a county currently controlled by Abyssinia, which would be quite nice. Damot, I think I leave to its holder. Particularly would give me a de jure claim on the capital of Abyssinia. And I can just sit there. So that's likely to be more useful and will give me a bit more prestige. And I can afford the gold now. Yeah, go on. I can afford to hold one more duchy. I think. Yes, I know I can press de jure ducal claims. That's fine. Clear off. Oh, I don't have a designated regent. Let's get myself a designated regent. My grandson's pretty good choice. I also don't currently... Oh, I could even appoint a court dwarf. Well, let's appoint a court dwarf because I can. I could also do with the Keeper of the Swans, who is there, whose opinion of me I would like to improve a bit. Shergo's probably a good person for that. Also don't have a high almoner. Let's appoint Prince Bishop of Assad. That seems like a sensible person to appoint to that. And a cupbearer who should be... Don't know. Someone who moderately much likes me, because I think you do get opportunities to poison people. Baron of Nuka. Better. So those numbers are all getting relatively good. He has 1,400 troops there, but I can raise over 3,000 with a bit of effort. So I think it may just about be time to declare a holy war on Abyssinia. I'm sure this will go fine. The aim being, he's still at war with two other people, isn't he? Yes. To take basically all of the Horn of Africa. Shall we? Yes, he's defending against heathens. It'll cost me 100 piety. What a pity. Splonk. Right. I am now at war with Abyssinia. So, whoops, I accidentally unpaused. What should we do about being at war with Abyssinia? I reckon we probably mostly want to start landing troops in eastern Abyssinia from CK2. then meanwhile, really all that we can get in Arcaf. I suppose it's still squashed by the fact that I've only just moved in, isn't it? Yes. Whereas here we can get a lot more people. Let's mass those troops in Zabid. This lot will all arrive together. Only 289 of them though, so I should save them for now until I've got, because they have to get through Antalo, which is going to be a bit awkward. Sab and Tajura, and then Koba and Asaita can all be raised and can head over to Tajura. And we leave Godjam for now because there are only 289 of them. Probably can't safely get them out here. Right, let's see what that does. But he's sending troops to Godjam, so I'm feeling quite happy that I did not. On the other hand, does mean that I can send those 1100 into Busaso. So the army of Duke Dioscoros, which should get is that my siege leader? I think it is. Yes. Because I wouldn't have a courtier wouldn't have a commander with 6 marshal if it weren't a siege leader. Can now settle down to besiege things while we accumulate a second group of troops. Alright, we can't actually besiege anything there because we need more troops. Right, well. Send that lot over there as well. Won't worry too much about that army because the Abbasids have just the Hashemids have just stomped in to kill them. So I just sit here looking smug while somebody else defends my territory. Right. That battle having been, I think it's, I don't know, maybe. Yes, I can see that it is. Its head is at the top. And then it has 2 front legs pointing upwards and 2 back legs and then a tail. It is actually a plausible mute. It's just... Right. Now I can raise Godjam's 289 troops and send them over there as well. No, that's a stupid route to take. Let's go the straight way. No. Okay, it does nominally go by a stupid route anyway. So if those come out of Shattered Retreat somewhere awkward. Rise of the Shia! Fools fight among themselves, which is excellent because we now have our castle town, which I was meant to be waiting for and then I didn't. Mašanñal, I have now, yes, because I've created the Duchy of Afar. Godjam was briefly under siege, yes, that's true. I can dismiss those fleets as well in a moment. Someone's joined the defensive pact. I didn't even know I had an independence faction. Meanwhile, we should actually reach the point where we can start besieging something. So everyone else came by land and took a while to get there. Oh, right. Well, I have been planning to try to take Antalo off the off Abyssinia, and the Hashemids got there first. Antalo is now part of the Hashemid Sultanate. Right. Well, I might be able to get that off them later. But let's at least consolidate the Christian lands down here under my control first. So there is a small Abyssinian fleet there. I don't think it can be carrying enough troops to be a problem. Someone who's trying to kill my spy master. Well, that's not acceptable either. But she's not close enough that I can just imprison her. But if I send her 15 gold, I can easily enough bribe her into abandoning her plot. Commander of Abyssinia is plotting to kill my marshal. No, he's also plotting to kill my spy master. Well, there's not much I can do about that, I don't think. I mean, I suppose I could try to get him to abandon it as well? I mean, this will probably involve another 15 gold. I feel that someone who's at a foreign court, though, I shouldn't be sending money to. Ding. Can't really afford it. I presume I can't invite. I could invite him to my court and then imprison him. The stoat. Well, okay. Well, I presume once he's in my court, if he's still plotting against my spymaster, I can then imprison him. Yes. Hello, you idiot. And then I can banish him and seize his gold. Well, that was profitable. My plan had been send him 15 gold to make his opinion of me higher, and then demand that he abandon his plot, which he would do because he likes me. But I realised he was willing to join my court, so I asked him to join my court, at which point, since he was plotting against my spymaster, I could imprison him for plotting against my spymaster. Which was what I wanted to stop him doing. Which probably made him stop plotting against my spymaster, and perhaps more importantly gave me the option to banish him from my court for plotting against my spymaster. At which point I seized all of the 343 gold he brought with me, which is far more money than I had. I'm starting to think Pelagia might fancy me. Does she like the Pelagian heresy? Probably not, which is a pity, because I like the Pelagian heresy. So I can make a move with Pelagia, who is frankly not that much of a catch in any useful fashion. I mean, like, she's married some other guy. Not quite sure why she's in my court, given that she has a living husband who isn't. He's at court in Wag. She, for some reason, is at court with me in CK2. Curious. I wonder why. Usually, married couples stay together unless there's a good reason for them to separate. Oh, sorry, let's see what happens. Hooray! We have successfully besieged the first place. It is good to be the king. Okay, who are you plotting against? No, I am King Mašanñal of Yemen, and you're trying to fabricate a claim on a duchy that I currently hold. I mean, I could fix this by granting you the duchy. I don't really want to imprison you at the moment. I think I'm going to let that plot run for now. I'm letting that plot run because I really don't care. Ooh. What? Alright, yes. Fethi Admesid is an incapable grey eminence, which has the consequence that he has a a diplomacy of 5, which is reduced by inbred and incapable. That's nice. Well, I'm sure we can find a use for him somewhere. We have apparently got something under siege. Let's have a quick look around. Oh yes, you're successfully besieging something in Assam. Well, that's nice. Have fun. You meanwhile are happily besieging things over here. Malaysia is with child. Well, we'll see.
Are all these face things that exist? That's
Yeah, I think I mean, like, it's not like it's difficult to find real place names. Well, yes, it's probably not an area. Have you not heard of Aden?
That says dead as well.
Okay, it says Aden, A-D-E-N.
I've heard of Aden.
Right, yes. Excellent, good. That's about the only place name around here I'd heard of.
Why is there no
Hang on, if I zoom in a bit. Oh, excellent, the majority of the population in Al-Akaf is now Miaphysite. Someone's built a city on top of the letter A. So Al-Akaf is now let's switch to religion view, is now entirely yellow because not only does it have a Miaphysite king, me, most of the population's Miaphysite. Sanar and Najran are really somebody else's problem, but we should fix CK2. So let us send my patriarch. Bring my patriarch back to CK2 to sort out the population there. So who is it we can imprison? Yes, we do probably want to imprison him eventually, but there's a reasonable chance he'll declare war on us, so we should probably do that when we're not in the middle of a war. Yeah, their siege of Assab is taking forever. Basically, I'm doing the people around here a favour by this holy war because, frankly, they are completely defenceless against the Muslims. I can probably just about stand up against them with my allies. But I was unable to get all of my attempts at getting an alliance with these guys have failed. I mean, obviously he hates me now. The fact that I keep usurping titles from him doesn't help. But I never managed to get on his good side, or on his predecessor's good side. And for a long time I was smaller than Abyssinia and got squished by them repeatedly, but recently I have been able to take advantage of having lots of daughters and but I mean, I knew my Chancellor was a bit old. Oh, let's find a new Chancellor then. Well, A2 would be lovely, but she's a bit too female. She knows she wouldn't. She'd be great for other things. Well, Seagram Spymaster is slightly the wrong religion, but like, so we can get an 18 who's the correct religion, or a 20, a genius 20. Let's invite that genius, unmarried genius 20, and then we can marry him. Not personally, obviously. Cause him to become married. And then maybe we'll get some genius children in the court, which will be helpful. Yeah, like I'm going to press your claims. What should he be doing? Do we have any vassals we really want to cheer up? I mean, like the Countess of Tajura is a bit of a lost cause, but Prince Bishop of Assab, on the other hand, I would quite like on more on my side. So let us send our spy master to our thing to improve diplomatic relations in Assab. Also see if we can find him a good wife. Preferably like one who's a sensible age. I assume there aren't any geniuses available. No. But on the other hand, quite like the look of Habesha, who is admittedly zealous and the wrong religion. She's a bit old. Let's invite someone who's a different wrong religion and then see what they can do to one another. He has a weak claim on a chiefdom in Ireland. There is no hope I'm going to help with that. Might be able to make him convert just by giving him some money. She seriously hates me though. Right. Okay, I may need to go and thrash them a bit. He can then try to convert his wife. Coup, all of my council are actually the correct religion. Oh, I think that they may be coming to say hello to me. Well, if you feel that way, we're going to have to march through Berbera. Okay, you're going to sit down in the mountains and hope that that helps you, aren't you? Kind of tempted to go round you. Oh, you're getting on a ship. Where are you going with that ship? Are you going to try to besiege CK2? I mean, I can see the point in that. To the extent that I'm wondering if I should try to do something about it. Like by teleporting my army back there. How many of my own troops? How many of my... So the problem is that if I try to teleport my army back there, they will be officially in unfriendly territory, and therefore half of them will disappear. Only 539 of them will return home, which will leave me a bit short. Oh, alright, that's the levy. There are 757 in the garrison. I'm like not sure you've got 757 troops on that ship because they're on that fleet. Actually, I think I may... Let's just gratuitously construct some training grounds there because they're quite cheap and I think will be useful. Rather curiously, she is overall in favour of having been I say briefly, on my council for 8 years. Right, yes, they haven't brought enough people to actually besiege my capital. Right, excellent. Stoats. It's not like they couldn't see that. Why do I care? Alright, she's my lover. Okay, yes. Seems my dalliance has resulted in a child. Fortunately, little Bekele is, who believes to be his, lose one piety. Well, I think I can cope with losing one piety.
No, I'm not very distracted. You need to look up whether dalliance and alliance are related. Not good.
Well done.
Because if I do that, I'll then start wondering about allying and dallying, and that's just going to get silly.
I'm pretty sure that in each case the verb and the noun are related.
What, dally and dalliance and ally and alliance?
Yes.
That's I'm fairly confident about. Things dalliance and alliance are kind of similar sort of things, but ally and dally, it's kind of
Aha! One of the duchies that I was considering creating and giving to someone, they have created. Which means that I get extra monthly prestige from that.
Actually, prestige from the back.
No. Hello, Bat. So my expenses are still fairly small. Excellent. Still considering increasing taxes, mind, but I do love the way that my vassals like the fact that I have elected monarchy succession without realising that I'm the elector. Indeed, I'm all three electors. Being as I am King of Yemen, Duke of CK2 and Duke of Afar. Actually no, Afar isn't the relevant one, it's Sanar that's the relevant one. Just check. What is the... Yes. Probably want to create that at some point. And maybe give away Afar. Ooh. Well, we can't allow that. The Lord Mayor of Aden. Is generally rather ill-disposed towards me. It's probably a bad idea, yes. Well, my Chancellor has done a reasonable job previous trip, so let's send him to Aden to cheer the Lord Mayor up. She will come of age soon, at which point he will clear off out of the kingdom, so that should help. I don't really want. I mean, he's like quite a good person to have around. Or anyone I can help him to marry. I think he won't actually start liking me just because I found him someone to marry, but I feel it should generally make him happier. So let's send him Theosia. I think she wants to get married as well. Make them both happier. Can't remember what her significance is. I think she's the ex-wife of someone. Maybe she'll distract him from trying to take my kingdom. Oh no, that's not the right. That's an ordinary betrothal, so she's going to be coming here. Alright, now he got an extra +10 opinion of me for getting him a wife. Excellent. And she got a +10 opinion of me for getting her husband. Who was her previous husband? Oh yes, my yes, she was briefly married to my previous so the Count of Asaita, and then to my short-lived Chancellor, and now to the Lord Mayor of Aden. And she's only 27. She's already on her third husband. Even has a son by one of them. Anyway, so yes, that is still a marginally worrying. Faction. Who else is in it? Oh, Prince Bishop of Assab, right. So Nicoletta Malainos has now arrived at my court and is married to my nephew Panigiros. She is generally fed up with this, but tough. And I would really quite like to be able to have her as a commander, but sadly, generally don't like having people of the wrong religion kicking around. I can easily avoid it. So we still have the Panegyros faction. Right, excellent. She now likes me. Mostly because I sent her lots of money, but also we now actually both have the same religion. %. I think I may just do this. Peace otter. Surrender. Gain 100 piety, 50 prestige, +3 moral authority for Physites, -3 moral authority for Monophysites. He loses 100 piety, loses 50 prestige, and I take over, well, practically everything. Boing. Right, so now the situation is he controls that one county. That one county is the Kingdom of Abyssinia. I've managed to achieve threatening, albeit only barely, but that might cause a defensive pact to come into existence against me, which will be entertaining. It probably makes that thing not much more less than thing. I suppose everything is currently squashed because of recently conquered, so vastly, essentially no levy available from anything for the next year. So I can now appoint a Duke of Berbera. That's got arms very similar to those of the Kingdom of Yemen, hasn't it? And all of my these reasonably close male grown-up relatives have all landed already. She needs to be betrothed to someone soon. He is presumably even more grumpy with me than ever. I presume he would be able to usurp that, except he still holds land within Abyssinia. But I can ask my Chancellor to deal with all these excess titles I've just acquired. I feel that my grandson Mašanñal probably deserves something. Though he does already have strong claims on a bunch of things. And like he'll turn 16 in 6 months' time. He's the wrong religion though. Oh, but if I grant him a title, he'll probably be willing to change his religion once he is of age. So that's actually a good plan, because getting members of my dynasty to have the correct religion is kind of important. What's the next set of grandchildren? Iran of the Glorious Hat does not have any children. CK2 has 2 daughters. Emmanuel has a son who's already heir to Ankoba, and a second son who is currently unlanded but is very newborn, so probably not the best last name. Oloferu has no children, and Ekir has the rather oddly named Dietrich von Babenberg, who's also, because her husband is indeed a commander of Egypt and is in fact in Egypt and is the heir to the Sultanate of Egypt. So I don't think that. So I think young Mašanñal should get a county. Don't think there's anyone else there who might particularly want to grant one to. So I think we should grant him the tricky one, Busaso and lower titles, because that county is not monophysite, so it's unlikely he'll convert back to monophysitism. So then we have Berbera and Zaila, which also want to be granted to people, and I have no idea who to give them to, because I'm beginning to run out of relatives. All of my siblings are dead. Panegyros, don't really want to make him. I mean, I suppose we could just land him. He's the right religion. Yeah, go on. Panegyros, you can have Berbera. Right. Iran is the wrong religion, but on the other hand, if we grant him something, he will become the right religion. But we can't, because he will not come to my court. Theosia, who are her offspring. Right, so none of my nephews and nieces, none of my other nephews and nieces can be granted Zaila. And the current situation is essentially that Zaila that's pushing me over the limit. Let's just try letting my my chance. Oh no, I don't have enough titles spare now that my chancellor can do the job, because it's may just raise a lowborn to do this job. I suppose I can go up another level, right? Do I have any second cousins who need... No, that's not the right level. Unlanded and in my court? Probably not, actually. My cousin Marcos. Don't know what he's doing here. Have we got anyone we can marry you to? Got anyone of a reasonable religion and age that we can marry you to? Like, I turn on only adults and it loses me Retta, who looks perfectly reasonable. Admittedly, is an IRC herself. She looks a fairly fun person to have around. I mean, okay, I am finding it slightly difficult to find you a good... Oh, there's a perfectly decent Nubian wife who is of the correct religion. Grant my cousin. Ooh. I mean, Zaila did have a nice large number of things. Maybe I give you a la carte. Actually, and keep Zaila to myself. So Busasso still has a child in charge, but probably not for much longer. But then what I need to do is to ensure that we actually have someone responsible for each of these. We'll just fabricate a new person in each case. Right, how are my numbers are saying? I still have a claim on Harrow, but I can't do anything about that yet. Probably a good idea to hold a feast, though. Yeah, right, all my vassals will be there, half of them hate me. Yes, well, I suppose if anyone's going to form a defensive pact opposing me, it's Oromo of Abyssinia. Oh dear. The Sheikh of Taiz. Well, okay, he does have a vaguely decent number of troops. Like about the same number as me. But he doesn't have lots of allies, and I do. What's his claim? He is holy warring for Taiz. Well, I think it's 23:57, and thus probably time that I saved and stopped. I think my feast will be called off anyway. So let's just have a look around. Kingdom of Yemen is slightly bigger. Don't have that many troops because actually I'm not quite sure why. Quite a lot of my vassal troops are slightly depressed, partly because people don't much like me because I raised a bunch of levies to take Abyssinia. That faction has cleared up though, which is nice. Yeah, Countess Habesha of Tajura wants to be independent, but that's not really something I'm worried about. Oh, was someone plotting to kill my... Yeah, someone... Yeah, but I'm at war again now, so I probably don't want to wind him up. Trying to take one of my duchy titles off me, but like, yeah, if you want it, I might give it to you. And the other plot is that one, which we don't care about. I can banish her. I mean, I can't remember why she's there. Seems silly to keep people in prison when I don't need to. Yeah, I can't become Sunni. I don't have that DLC. We're really that low in moral authority? Yes. monophysite is even worse. Ooh. What view am I in at the moment? I think that was it when looking at. Yes. So curious, the bishopric of Abate. Why is that relevant then? I mean, he is monophysite, which is kind of entertaining given the realm he's in. Oh well. So, yes. So I think, yes, I was going to save about 10 minutes ago. So I should actually do that. Because I don't think there is any further... Rather, there is an enormous war coming, which I will probably be able to win with the help of my allies, but I don't think I should be trying to do that after midnight. It is currently 10:66, and it's... Oh! What's going on up north then? Well, it may be 10:66. We still have an Anglo-Saxon King of England. So yes, we have Athelstan, succeeded by Edmund, who's succeeded by Ismond, who's the chaste. Yes, not a very familiar set of kings of England. Also notable that the Kingdom of England is making some pretty big inroads into Scotland. Indeed, the kingdom was apparently destroyed for a while. England has taken Ulster, as it often seems to. Still an independent Wales, mind. Or rather, no. Two separate petty kingdoms. Gwynedd and... Deheubarth. And actually... Lewising. So Wales and Ireland are still in pieces. England has mostly taken over Scotland. Denmark, Sweden are doing their usual kind of thing. Iceland is still independent. Queen of Iceland. There is no Holy Roman Empire. There is a large kingdom of Germany. Umayyads control Spain. And there is a useful kingdom of France and a kingdom of Italy and a pope. So as happened in Verity's game, yes, the Byzantine Empire has this big slick out here. That is... no, that's not their revolt. It's an Abbasid revolt. We have a curiously ahistorical Muslim kingdoms or realms all over Africa. So that's African paganism being ruled over by Islam. The Islamic Kingdom of Kanem managed to be an Islamic tribal nation at the moment, well, kind of. The air also Islamic, yes. Right, anyway, I was just getting excited because it was 1066. But let's not do that. Let's do that instead. And then, yes, find this button that says stop streaming.